Hello everyone. It's not often I show my face on videos these days, and obviously you can understand why, but I thought I would show my torso because I'm wearing a Henry tie. Hey, that rhymes. I'm a poet and I didn't know it. This Henry tie, I do have one of these somewhere in my collection. It's in a nice presentation box with 4 enamel Henry badges. But this was kindly sent to me by Becky at myhenry.com, along with a few other goodies. This arrived yesterday and I thought this is what I've been expecting, because I'm going to be showing you a brand new Henry vacuum cleaner in this video. You'll know what it is by the thumbnail, so the excitement's gone. But I'm pretty excited because I've never seen this cleaner I'm about to open. And I think it's the first time I've opened a vacuum cleaner without knowing what it looks like. So anyway, I will show you this if you want to stick to the end. I'll open this little gift package that I was kindly sent. So this came yesterday and I was expecting it to be the cleaner I'm about to open. I thought it was a bit light. It was in a bigger box. But the box I was expecting yesterday has arrived. For full transparency, you would have seen a little pop-up at the start of the video saying paid promotion. I haven't been paid any money to make this video, but I have been given this vacuum cleaner for free. That's why I've ticked the box when I uploaded to say it does contain paid promotion. Some people aren't quite so honest, but I'm always upfront. The rare times I receive a free item, I tell you straight away. So this was kindly supplied from myhenry.com. Let's cut into the bag, see if we've got all we have. I wondered why they'd wrapped it. I wasn't sure if it would come in a plain box or the retail packaging, and it's in the retail packaging. Wow, so it does look like, well, very similar to Henry Quick. It's got the same bag by the looks of it and the same smile, but this one has a mains cable. So this is the first Henry Quick corded. Whether that Pneumatic decide to introduce a pet version and other versions, I'm not sure, but this is the launch of the brand new corded Henry Quick. I was quite surprised. It was only a few days ago that Becky from myhenry.com emailed me and told me about this product, and oh yeah, I said yes, I would like one, thank you very much. And I'm sure a lot of you will probably want to get one of these for your collection. So I wonder where this is made as well. We'll soon find out, I think. So we've got the wand. Again, it's metal, but slightly different. Yeah, we've got a little plug on there that connects up to the power nozzle, and also, of course, because it's corded, we've got the cord storage hook. So that's, yeah, one swivels. Does the other one swivel? It doesn't seem to. So one fixed and one swivel cord hook. We've got the instruction book, Henry Quick model HEC 100. So lots of pictures, but at least it's in colour. So it's telling you, it's showing the filters and everything. Alright, what else have we got? We've got the power nozzle. Yeah, much the same, I would say. Very, very similar to the cordless one. But it does feel heavier. I'm wondering if it's got a more powerful motor in it. It's a 35 watt motor for the power head. I'll tell you the wattage of the suction unit in a minute. This one is still made in China, folks, but designed and tested in the UK by Pneumatic International. I thought it probably still would be made in China. I believe they are still planning to bring these in-house, the Henry Quick cordless. As far as I know, that's what I've heard. They're expanding their factory in Somerset. Right, what's in here? again, of course, we've got some spare pods. There's one fitted, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 5 spare ones. They look the same as the pods supplied with Henry Quick cordless. And then we get the 2 basic tools, crevice tool and your combi tool for upholstery. Push out the brush, and you've got a dusting tool for your lampshades, your shelving, that sort of thing. And then we've got one of the little air fresheners. And of course you can get spare air fresheners and bags from myhenry.com or other places. Amazon certainly sell the bags. So here's the cleaner. I'll get my Henry Quick out at the end of the video and we'll just compare them side by side. It just feels a little bit heavier. I suspect the motor is a lot beefier in the mains powered one. Quite a long looking cable. I'll put all the details below, cable length, etc. But I hope and suspect it might be about 10-metre cable. I'm not sure. But that's everything. Well, it might tell us on the box. Dust pre-emptying. Yes, it is. It is a 10-metre cord, extra long cord, 10-metre. So that's about it. So just basically, it's a corded version of a Henry Quick. So here he is, Henry Quick corded. He's quite heavy, I have to say, in the hand. So that's something to consider. We've still got the see-through part with the pod, and it looks like it's a similar way to eject the pod into the bin. This big slide control, which opens the doodah. Now it's not going to pop out, it just needs a bit of help. Obviously when this has got dirt in it. Now I've used the Henry Quick for my vacuum of the month, and I use the same bag for the whole month. Now it varies. You might use a bag in 2 weeks, you might use a bag in a month, you might use a bag in 6 weeks. It all depends on the size of your house, if you're cleaning up after pets, if you've got children running around making a mess. So it's all relevant what your home situation's like. You might live on your own in a small flat and then you might get 8 weeks out of a pod. But yes, when it's full, it should eject straight into the bin. That came out that time. And of course it seals itself. Now one thing I've noticed about the instruction book, although we do get an air freshener supplied, it shows putting the air freshener inside the bag. So there is no special holder for it at the bottom or the back end of the cleaner like you get with the Henry Quick cordless. So it's up to you. You can use that in the bag. Obviously you don't have to put an air freshener in. It's optional. Pop it in the bag if you want the smell. If you don't, leave it out. Do we have a filter? Yeah, similar to the cordless version. We've got a foam filter that covers the motor inlet just at the bottom there, if you can just about see. We'll pop that back in. But unlike the cordless Henry Quick, we do have a post motor filter. So that's something that I find is a bit lacking on the standard Henry Quick. You've got the pod and the pre-motor filter, but on standard Henry Quick, the cordless version, there is no post motor filter. So this one does have it, and it's not washable. Pneumatic suggests you replace it about once a year, so it should be somewhere behind this top cover. There we go. So that just twists off, and as you can see here, we have, twist it again, a pleated filter. So like I said, in the instruction book it says not to wash it, replace approximately once per year. These will be available to buy on Pneumatic's website on myhenry.com. It's branded Pneumatic there. You can see a bit of sound insulation or diffuser material. The exhaust vents out of the holes either side of Henry's head there. So it's a bit like, that's Henry's face and this is his cap. So that's different. I would like to see improved filtration possibly on a next generation of Henry Quick cordless. They may do an allergy version in that nice powder blue that they have the allergy Henry in. But anyway, there you go. So that locks nice and securely in place. And then we can put the top back on. Again, just twist and it clicks. We've got similar controls to Henry Quick cordless. We've got the on-off button here, a boost setting, and this button turns the brush roll on or off. Okay, I've plugged in Henry Quick corded. Let's switch him on for the first time. Wow, I was not expecting Henry Quick corded to be so quiet. That's on the low power setting or standard. I can't really judge the suction at the moment. I won't be able to get my suction gauge over that, but I'll try and fit something to give you an idea of the sealed suction. That is very, very quiet. Let's boost him. Even on boost, I was just expecting this to be pretty noisy. Obviously, to meet EU limits, this vacuum cleaner has to be under 80 decibels. But that's very pleasant sounding. Obviously, the power head will add to the noise level. But yeah, I am quite surprised by how that sounds. Not expecting that at all. So with the power head, obviously for cleaning your carpets and hard floors, you'd attach it to the end of the wand. But you can attach the power head directly to the suction unit, click, and then, although it is a little bit bulky and heavy, you can clean your stairs like this. If you can't manage this on your stairs, you can just use the small nozzle. But once in a while, I think it would be an advantage to give your stairs a deep clean using a rotating brush. So let's switch on, see what the brush roll sounds like. Well, again, that's pretty quiet. It's certainly quieter than the motorised head on my cordless Henry Quick. I'm pretty sure it is. It's got a much lower tone. So that's on its default setting. And then we can boost it. Wow, I can feel it really digging in. I think that's going to perform pretty well. Of course, if it's too hard to push, we do have the slider here on the front of the nozzle. So if you have plush pile or deeper pile carpets, you can open up this slider and it introduces air into the nozzle part, making it easier to push. It won't bog down so much. On my new velvet pile carpet, it works fine on boost with that slide control closed. Also, if you're cleaning a lightweight rug or a doormat, often if it's too powerful, you'll find it'll suck the doormat into the nozzle and stop the brushes from rotating. So in those instances, you might want to open the control here and obviously use it on the default normal setting, and that will give you the minimum amount of suction at the cleaner head if it's very hard to push. This head doesn't appear to have an anti-hair wrap brush roll, but the brush roll is easy to remove without tools. There's a red button here. You just press that and then we can pivot the end cap and then pull it out like so. And then you've got quite stiff brushes, nice spiral brushes. And there is a groove on the brush roll, so if it does get wrapped around with human or animal hair, you can just get a pair of scissors and cut through the groove just a couple of times like that and then just pull off the hairs. But that's easy to remove. And then of course you've got access to check for blockages. This flexible hose part, similar to the one supplied with the cordless models, will come out. Just pulls out. So we can remove it like so, and then we can stretch it out, so if there is any blockage, you can see how it stretches. You could poke a blunt instrument down there and poke out any debris. Whoops. Henry, have you been drinking? It's his first time. very first time on my channel. He's a bit shy. Don't be shy. You're in safe hands here. You're with friends. So there you go. So it would only block. I've never known my Henry Quick to block up, but if you were to pick up something you shouldn't have picked up, maybe a piece of Lego or a bit of paper that gets wedged in, then that will start blocking the hose, and then as you continue to clean, things will wrap around the blockage and then it'll eventually block. So a little bit of maintenance, you know, once a month, just to check for blockages. It's all good, you know, with any vacuum cleaner it pays to maintain them. Right, there we go. So we'll pop the hose back in, push it right up, and then close that, and we'll just pull it out. Yeah, just make sure it's in position. So here's the original cordless Henry Quick, and we can introduce them together. Yeah, there's a size difference, as you can see. There we go. So he's a little bit taller, the corded version. And obviously he's a bit fatter. He's got a fatter head because there will be a bigger motor in there, I'm assuming. Much smaller motor inside the cordless version. But yeah, regarding the controls, they look much the same. There's also a little indicator light on here that will glow when the pod is full, although I have found in the past it doesn't tend to glow unless the pod is really packed full. It might work slightly differently on the corded version. I suspect there'll be more airflow. But yeah, quite similar in size. Let's just compare the power nozzles. And I have a feeling, yes, it looks a bit bigger, the power nozzle on the corded version. Yeah, it's not much, but there is a size difference. About 1 centimetre. Yeah, but as you can see, there you go, very similar looking. But yeah, this is heavier than this, not much. And that's surprising. Now this has a 50 watt motor, the cordless, and did we say 35 watt for the corded? Yes, 35 watt for the corded. But it does seem, I don't know, I think the motor is probably bigger, even though it's a lower wattage. There's a bit more of a bulge here where I assume the motor is compared to the cordless version. We've still got the same slide control, obviously, and the same sort of button to release the brush roll. In fact, we can just compare the brush rolls. It might be easier to see the difference in size of the swept path. So yeah, so they're not, you can't put a Henry Quick cordless brush roll into the corded. You can see that the corded version is just that little bit wider, so it does make cleaning larger areas a little bit quicker. It's not a huge difference, but there is a difference, so that's quite interesting. So pop that back in, there we go, and we'll pop this back into the cordless power head. Now, I'm sure some of you will ask, so I'm trying to answer your questions in this first video, but there will be further videos. Some of you will ask, can I use Henry Quick cordless tools on Henry Quick corded? Well, we'll find out. First of all, regarding any motorized tools, they do not fit this. So, for example, the small motorized head you can get as an option or included with the Henry Quick Pet and the Pro models. This doesn't fit. It would fit, I suppose, because it sort of goes in, but obviously the electrical connectors are different, and this is designed for a cordless machine, not a mains powered one. It might be possible, as I said, in the future there may be a pet version of this that will include a small motorized head like this. I don't know. And also there could be a Hetty version coming out. If you remember when Henry Quick was launched, Hetty didn't launch at the same time. She was a little bit late coming, wasn't she? But Hetty Quick did get launched, and then there's been other versions. We've had the Pet and the Pro version. So it could be the same case. It might be the Henry Quick corded just is available in this version initially, and then possibly, I don't know, but I would probably put 90% bet on there being a Hetty version of the corded. It would be a shame if there wasn't. So yes, now you can't fit motorised heads, but can we fit? So this is a crevice tool from my Henry Quick cordless. So yes, the non-powered tools seem to fit. Let's try the hose. Again, the hose is optional. This comes from the Pro kit that I bought, although it is available with the Pro model. Right, that's good. Let's just check. Switch on. So that's nice to know. If you want to fit the Pro kit, you can buy it as an optional extra for Henry Quick, but it will fit the cordless, the corded. Getting all confused with my cords and cordlesses. It will fit the new model, so that's fantastic. I'm glad about that, because I do have, I've got this long dusting brush, so it's been in a box. Got a bit of a bad hair day there. It's very soft, that. I should use that more, really. So yeah, I would say, of course, if it fits on there, it's going to fit, isn't it? So it just clicks in exactly the same. So that's very handy to have that facility. So you can connect the non-powered tools to this, but not the powered ones, because they are slightly different. Okie dokie, let's do a suction test. This is fully charged. So we'll take off the wand. And it's easy, I was going to say, I don't want to mix the wands up, but it's quite easy to tell which wand is which, because one has the hooks on it for the cord storage. So we will find a way of putting an adapter in the end of both these cleaners, and we'll test the sealed suction of the Henry Quick cordless compared to the brand new Henry Quick corded. Okay, so I've got an adapter piece fitted into the end of Henry Quick cordless and Henry Quick corded, so we'll test the sealed suction on regular and the boost setting. So this will be quite interesting. So first of all, the cordless version. With a brand new pod fitted, Henry Quick cordless measures 12 on low and 44 on boost. Now let's test Henry Quick corded on the standard and boost settings. With a mains powered motor, Henry Quick corded measures 20 on low and 56 on high. As I have both versions here, I thought it would be a good idea to weigh them and compare them side by side. As I said, I think the corded version does feel a bit heavier, but now, yeah, now I'm holding them together. This could be heavier. Anyway, we'll find out. I've got some digital scales here. So let's have a weigh-in. Don't be shy. Nobody's going to be embarrassed. We just want to find out which one of you is the heaviest. First for the weigh-in comes the new Henry Quick corded. So he weighs 1.947 kilograms, or 1,947 grams. I'll convert that into imperial measurements for you. So that's 4 pounds, 4.7 ounces. Now for Henry Quick cordless with an empty pod. I have to lay him this way so we can see the display. So Henry Quick cordless weighs 1.936 kilograms, or 1,936 grams, and imperial, that's 4 pounds, 4.3 ounces. Despite me thinking that the corded version was a lot heavier than the cordless, there's only 11 grams in it, so the corded version is just 11 grams heavier than the cordless version. So it's okay, you might look a little bit fatter, but you weigh more or less the same. Well, I must say, I don't think I'd need to use Henry Quick corded on full power much. A little bit harder to push on full power, but still very doable. If I had any problems, as I said, I could either use this machine on low power or just open up the little vent on the power head. But it's very pleasant to use. The sound, I just still can't get over how quiet this machine is. It might be hard to come across on a video, but trust me, it is quieter. I think it's quieter. Well, we'll compare. The powerhead motor has a much higher pitched tone. In fact, the motor in the machine seems to be higher pitched than the corded. So here's the corded version in low power. It is much quieter. Yeah, definitely quieter. Let's try it in high suction mode. So that's Henry Quick cordless. Yeah, definitely quieter for the corded version, and it's a nicer sound. It's a lower tone, so you could certainly, I think you could use this late at night certainly on the low power setting if you needed to whip round, didn't want to disturb the neighbours, or you've got people upstairs. It is a pleasant sounding vacuum. So that is the most surprising thing about this. I thought, oh, it's going to sound quite loud. It'll be like, you know, one of the earlier Shark corded stick cleaners I've shown you. I thought, oh, it's going to be quite shrill. But that's pleasant. Just take my word for it, folks. Honestly, I know it's hard to judge the sound, whatever you're watching on your phone or TV or whatever you're watching this video on. But I can tell you in real life, and the motor is quite close to my ears as you're using this. It's not like a cylinder vacuum where you've got the motor sort of on the floor and you could be quite far. So like a standard Henry, he can be, you know, a few feet away and you've got your back to him. Never turn your back to Henry, he doesn't like it. He always scowls. If you're not looking at him, every time you look at Henry, he's smiling. But if you turn your back to him, he scowls at you. But you'll never see it, because as soon as you turn around, he'll smile again. So see if you can catch that on camera, folks. So yeah, I'm quite surprised by this development. It was very surprising. Just only a couple of days ago, I didn't know anything about this cleaner, and now I'm showing you one on my channel. So obviously, yeah, it's been in development for a while. So it is made in China at the same factory as Henry Quick cordless by a company called King Clean. But it seems like a solid machine. I think this is one I found from the Henry Quick. He's a basic machine, but he feels solid compared to some other cordless machines. You know, they've got tough bodies. They will withstand a fair bit of use. It also has he has a 500 watt motor as well. So as you saw, a 500 watt mains powered motor does produce more suction power than the cordless. Not a huge amount, but you know, a considerable amount. And the fact you do have a 10 meter mains cable, you're not having to worry about your battery running out. Obviously you can buy replacement batteries or swappable batteries for the cordless version. If you run out of power, you can always have another battery to slot in. But no fears, as long as you've paid your electric bill and we don't have any power cuts, you'll be able to use Henry cordless whenever and wherever you want. And because it's a long cable, it might even be long enough to reach out to clean your car. But as I've mentioned before with the cordless version, he's quite big, so you do really need, for car cleaning, in my opinion, it would be a good idea to get the hose. But as I showed you earlier, the hose that you can buy for Henry Quick cordless also fits the new Henry Quick corded. So, pretty good carpet cleaning performance from the Henry Quick corded. I used him mostly on low power. I did increase it, as you saw at the end of the video, just to make sure every last little bit was picked up, but I was quite satisfied with the results I got using him on his standard setting, which, as I've said before, is a very quiet sound. It's a very pleasant sounding vacuum cleaner. So let's have a look at all the filth inside, the messy filters, and the cloud of dust when we open it. Well, actually, I'm doing it the wrong way, aren't I? I just want to pull the bag out, because obviously there's still room in this bag. But, well, we do have a bit of dust. Ooh, look. Just around the entrance to the pod there, a little bit of dust. But if I was using a bagless cleaner, obviously, this would be looking disgusting and dusty and dirty, but no. Little bit of dust, obviously, on the seal that seals the bag. Quick wipe, that's what I do. When I change a pod, I don't have to wipe out the inside. I never have had to in the past, but I normally wipe the seal here. Pop a new pod in, close it, and it's ready to go. Yes, there's the expense of buying replacement pods, but you're paying for the convenience and the more hygienic emptying you get with a bagged cleaner. That's my opinion. If you prefer bagless, that's up to you if you don't want to be buying bags. But if you want the easy disposal, the clean disposal of dirt, then bagged is still the way to go, in my opinion and experience. But yeah, it's all clean in there, but as I said, there's still plenty of room in this pod, so I'll pop it back and close the lid, and he's ready to use another day. With a regular Henry, we do have the cord rewind system to store Henry's 10-meter cable inside his hat, but with this quick version, obviously there's no room for that sort of cord storage. We just have the two hooks, the top hook that does rotate. It's a bit stiff, but it is new, and the bottom cord cable that is fixed. So we can just loosely wrap it round the full 10 meters. So it'll just take a moment or two to wrap the cable around for storage. So obviously the best way to store this machine is fully assembled. If you don't have the space, you could store the body and the wand separately, but then you've got nowhere really to wrap the cable around. So there we go. There's a little clip near the plug. We can clip that to part of the cable. So that's the cord stored. Like most machines of this type, Henry Quick Corded can't support himself, so he will fall down if you let him go, which is why there's a little rubber pad provided on the back of the handle, enabling you to put him up against a wall. So if you're storing him away fully assembled like this, say under your stairs, you have to make sure he's somewhere secure, like in the corner. As long as the rubber part of the handle is on the wall, he shouldn't slip down. But just be careful how you're storing this machine, because as I said, he will fall over quite easily. That's just about the end of my first look video on the brand new Henry Quick Corded Vacuum Cleaner. Hopefully I've covered everything you need to know, but if you've any questions, please comment below. And of course, if you've any other comments about this vacuum cleaner, I'd be glad to read them. Now, for all you legends that have stayed to the bitter end, and that is a few of you, I'm going to show you what nice goodies I received from Becky at myhenry.com in this box. So one of the items you have seen, because I've been wearing it throughout the video, this lovely Henry tie, but we've got some more Henry goodies inside here. So to finish off, let's take a look inside this Henry box. Okie dokie, let's have a look inside this box at the Henry goodies within. First of all, we've got one of these bucket hats. Now you can buy these from myhenry.com and they are reversible, so whether you're in a pink Hetty mood or a red Henry mood, you can put the hat on whichever way you want. So if you go to myhenry.com, you'll find this in the merch section, so that is available for everyone to buy. These aren't at the moment, these Hetty slippers, and they have a dual purpose. Apart from keeping your feet warm, they'll also polish your floors as you're walking around. You can just shuffle around your lino or your wood block flooring and get them a nice polish as you're going about your daily business. So they're rather fun. They're not available at the moment, but hopefully the merch section on myhenry.com will expand, because I know a lot of you would like some of this merch that I'm showing you. You can buy these hoodies. I've shown you these. I did a little fashion show. You can get them in red, grey or Hetty pink. Nice cotton hoodies, ideal for winter. No child sizes yet, so you might want to choose small for your Henry fans, your smaller Henry fans. Christmas is coming up, folks. Ideal stocking filler. But I have been told that hopefully there will be child sizes available. So with any luck, I don't know, but with any luck, you might get child sizes available before Christmas, because yeah, there's a lot of young Henry fans who'd love one of these, I'm sure. We've also got some key rings in all the main colours, haven't we? Yes. We've got the main 4 colours that you can buy Henry in. Yes, Henry is available in other colours apart from the standard red. If you go to myhenry.com, you can choose a Henry in this blue colour, or yellow, or green, or of course just go for the standard red if that's what you prefer. And of course then we've got little Hetty pink. And then this little bag, I'm not sure what it's for. You could use that as a little manicure set, put your nail clippers and things in there, use it for your coins, bit of money, all sorts of things you could use for that. And you can actually clip it to your person, your belt or something. That nice little thing. I haven't got one of those, so that's nice. And then we've got these, which I think are Henry greetings cards. And they're stuck together. Oh yes, they are, look. A selection of greetings cards. So I've got 2 packs of those. With, I think they've all got different designs on. Yeah, so this is all, oh, I've just realised, that's all Hetty greeting cards. And these are Henry ones. We've got some nice red packaging there. So thank you very much again, Becky, for these extra gifts. And of course, for sending me over the new Henry Quick Corded for my viewers to look at. At the moment, you can only buy the new Henry Quick corded from Argos, so visit their website to check for availability in your area. Let's close that box. It's nice. I'll keep that box. Nice little box, that, isn't it? So there you go. I'm really going now. I've got so much to do, and I hope you've enjoyed the video. Please thumb it up, because that does help, and subscribe if you don't do so already. I would be very grateful for your support and comments. So until the next video from me and move that out of the way, and the brand new Henry Quick corded vacuum, it's goodbye and thanks for watching.